Well, last week's first pilot episode seemed to go pretty well, so we've decided we're going to do a second episode of the Fit Nerd podcast. And Krystal joins me again today. So, the idea for today's episode is going to be, we're going to do a bit like the Desert Island Discs thing, but we're going to do it with exercises instead. So we have pre-prepared 10 exercises such that if you were only ever allowed to do those 10 exercises for the rest of your life, which ones would you pick? We're going to try and think about reasons why. We're going to include cardio as our exercises because I think that's important to include. And we're going to basically just compare, see if we come up with the same things. I have no idea what she's picked, and she has no idea what I've picked. So yeah, we're just going to get into it.
Exciting.
So, is yours in ranked order? Because I've done mine in ranked order as well.
No, so I've done one for each body part.
Well, spoiler.
Essentially, because I didn't want to look like Popeye with chicken legs, or have a booty too big that my legs can't handle it. So, you know.
Okay. Well, I've got mine in ranked order. I didn't know whether you were going to do that or not. So I'm going to go from 10 to 1.
Okay.
It kind of puts you on the spot for you to do that, but maybe if you sort of maybe know what your 10th is, and then we'll end with our number 1 exercise at the end. Fine. So at probably number 10, what's yours going to be and why?
So 10 being like the
10
least
being
important.
The least important. Number 1 is the number 1.
Okay. So I've also done it. I've taken the desert island thing very seriously, and I've come up with reasons why on a desert island I would need to do it.
You're allowed to gym.
Yeah, no, but I basically I chose my exercises, then tried to think why I would need them on the desert island as well.
Oh, you've really gone next level. Okay.
Yeah, but so the tricep one, I couldn't think of why I would need it on a desert island, so I put it into AI to ask for a funny one, which is what I've been laughing about, so I'm going to tell you. So my tricep exercise is cable push downs, like a Chinese cat. And the reason that AI said that I would need this on a desert island is because I wanted to aggressively push down the feelings of I'm fine, this is fine thoughts every morning when you wake up to another day of eating coconuts and talking to Wilson the volleyball.
Okay, so you've gone full on Castaway.
Yeah. I didn't tell it that I needed a volleyball, but AI thought I needed a volleyball friend called Wilson, and to push down my thoughts of I'm fine.
So not only are you on a desert island, you also don't have any friends.
Oh no, you're on the island with me.
Oh,
because that's important to one of the others.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your 10th exercise is a tricep pushdown.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any direct tricep exercises.
Yeah, that's why it's 10, because of I felt like I needed it, but also it's kind of just there.
Yeah. So my number 10 is a Turkish get-up.
Oh, lovely.
Have you got him on your list?
No.
No? Okay. So we both started off with one that's neither in each other's list. So we're going to end up with at least, 12 different exercises, which is cool. Is that right? Maybe 11.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have some kind of mobility in mind.
Yeah.
And core strength and shoulder mobility, stability, all that business. I also wanted to make sure that there was some kind of like loading overhead, which isn't just pressing. And I figured it was quite a good overall movement that kind of challenges my balance and coordination as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought Turkish get-up would be quite a good one. I also think it's kind of cheating because it's not just an isolated, it moves this muscle.
Yeah.
So I went kind of a whole body movement, incorporates mobility, stability, still a bit of strength. Obviously you've got some overhead holding and stuff as well. So yeah, but that was going to be my 10th one. I figured out of my 10, if there was one that's going to get cut, that would have been the one. Because it doesn't really do much for overall strength. I don't think I'll build any more strength for that one. Like, we're not really moving for a great range of movement or anything like that. So yeah, not really that great for strength, not really that great for hypertrophy, but pretty good for my mobility and coordination. Nice. So yeah, in my list, I sort of had a kind of tick list about what I wanted them to hit. So I wanted exercises which were good for strength, good for hypertrophy, so building muscle. Wanted to be cardio conscious. I wanted mobility and flexibility built into them as well. And just wanted to be really efficient with the movements as well. So I did hit all my body parts. So hopefully we'll see those over the rest of the list. So that's why it was number 10 for me. But it's interesting, we've got 2 different number 10s.
Yeah.
So what's your 9?
My 9 one is an ab one.
Oh, got to get the abs in.
Yeah.
Because if you're on a desert island, you've got to have them abs popping.
Yeah, because that was my reason. If someone rescues me, I want to look good, right? Otherwise, they might not take me.
But I'm going to be there.
Yeah, but you still need to, give them a reason to take us.
So, other than being stranded, you're like, we'll take her, she's got abs.
Exactly. So I call them Nordic sit-ups, but I don't know if that's the actual name. You know when you're like over the thing and you go all the way back?
Oh, the GHD sit-up.
Oh, sorry, GHD sit-ups.
So in the gym that I work at, we've got a hip thrust bench, and it means that you can do like a GHD sit-up, but you've got the security of the floor, right?
Yeah.
Obviously on a GHD, you'd be able to
go further
bend
back.
all the way back, so that might even be even better.
Yeah, so I went for that one for my core, because your core is obviously really important for every movement. Like if you're doing squats or anything, you need to have a strong core. Even in just like everyday life, you need to have it for like stabilizing yourself. I remember you said that one of your clients once said that they don't have the core strength to like hold themselves up in the car as they were turning the corner, and which is just mind-boggling to me. So I obviously wanted to include something for my core, and I think that one's just a really good one because you are actually able to load it. Like you can't load it loads because obviously it depends on how much you can hold, but it is something that you can progressively overload.
Yeah, that was the other consideration I made with mine as well. I wanted to be able to progressively overload exercises as well.
Yeah.
That comes into hypertrophy for me. So.
And like you said, you're able to bend back with the sort of G, and the main thing for like working your core rather than just your hip flexors is obviously being able to bend your spine.
Yeah.
Which is what that does, and I think it just is a really good ab workout, and it requires sort of minimal equipment, I guess, because
that's important on a desert island.
Yeah. Well, no, just for anyone who is looking for a good ab workout, you don't need like a cable machine. You could arguably even try and do it somewhere set up at home as long as you're slightly elevated. So that was my one. I did originally put Russian twists on my list as a joke, but
so 2 points from me really is I want to be a bit of a pedant and say core training isn't just training your abs. So core training needs to be, think of it like your Coke can. So we've got your abs at the front, you've got your spinal erectors at the back, your obliques at the side, which I know you've got DOMs today from doing your side bends.
Yeah.
It's your pelvic floor and your diaphragm as well.
Yeah.
So when people say core, they often think abs. But yes, training your abs is really important for spinal flexion. So when you're saying about extending at the spine, that's going to stretch your abs, and obviously flexing
Yeah.
That's going to be your spinal flexion as well, so really good for that sort of stuff.
Thank you.
Obviously, GHC is really good because you can get your abs into a stretch position, which if you just did sit-ups on the floor, you don't really get that stretch, which we know is really good for hypertrophy. The other thing I was going to ask was, is that your only core exercise? Or abs exercise?
Yeah.
Why not a hanging leg raise?
Because I find for myself it's not really training my core so much. It's normally hip flexes, especially as I get progressively tired. Whereas with the GHD, you can't really cheat it. It's gonna hit the right thing. And also I find, again, as you get progressively tired with that, you can start making it more of a kipping one and kind of using momentum, where again I don't think you can cheat it as much. I'm sure there's a way to cheat it somewhere, but not as much as I think you can on the hanging.
So I thought about putting in a direct ab exercise, and I think for me the hanging leg raise or toe to bar or whatever would have been my option. So again, from like an efficiency point of view, you're kind of sneakily training grip strength at the same time. So there's plenty of benefits to hanging. And then again, personal preference, and let's just emphasize, which I probably should have done at the start, that everyone's 10 exercises can be very different because it's obviously really individual for you. But for me, I get really sore doing hanging leg raises in my abs. So it's stimulus to fatigue ratio and all that from our friend Dr. Mike, which talks to us about these exercises.
But how would you overload that, do you think?
So
other than just doing 100 reps?
Obviously more reps is the thing, but that was something else that I put into this, in that I wanted to make sure that they were always progressively overloaded. And I find that calisthenics-based exercises were really hard to progressively overload without incorporating adding weight anyway. So for example, I thought about adding press-ups into mine, but I decided against it because once I can do 30 press-ups, in terms of making it harder, it's just do more press-ups. And for strength and hypertrophy, I didn't think that was going to do much for me. So you make a good point about the hanging leg raise. You could obviously put a weight on your ankles, wear heavier shoes.
Wear heavier shoes?
Yeah, we could tie some coconuts around my ankles.
Just pop into the local Nike store.
Yeah, fine. We build in this island as we want. So, yeah. But I didn't include any direct ab training anyway, because I'm like, I've only got 10 exercises, and as you're going to find out later, I think that my core gets trained by just lifting heavier weights of the ones that I've chosen.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But, well, my Turkish get-up sort of does that.
Yeah.
So my 9 is a suitcase carry and very deliberately single arm. Mm-hmm. So I started thinking about doing farmer carries, but then again, because of efficiency, I wanted to hit grip strength. So a hanging version of something was going to be my other option, but I went for a heavy carry. And I deliberately wanted it to be single arm because I'm then having to train my core for anti-flexion laterally in particular. So, yeah. Obviously being able to hold a weight in one hand, and then I can obviously switch hands. Yeah, I think that just hit grip strength, hit some core training. I think when you're walking with it as well, obviously one leg generally is on the floor, so your hips kind of get trained a little bit as well. Yeah, I just think it's really good to keep movement quality high. You can load it, you just have heavier weights. There is a pretty strong correlation between someone's grip strength and longevity. I don't think that's a causal thing. I think it's just that if someone trains, generally their grip strength is going to be better. But for me, that was going to be my number 9.
Very nice.
Any arguments?
No, I just think you went a lot more functional than I've gone. I've gone more like...
You've gone for the show muscles,
yeah,
whereas I've gone for the functional.
I'm clearly competing on the desert island, whereas you're being more functionally able than I am.
Shows us where our priorities are, Krystal.
So
we're on 8.
Yeah.
So far, no shared movements.
Yeah. So my bicepy one.
Oh, you've gone triceps and biceps.
Yeah, I've gone every muscle,
You've gone
you know.
all for the guns.
So mine is an incline alternating dumbbell curl.
Oh, lovely.
Because I really love that one.
We did those today.
We did. So bad bitches.
It's because so for anyone that doesn't know, the reason why Krystal likes these is because these make me feel like a really bad bitch.
I just in the gym, you know, I just feel like a real bad bitch. I can't say why, but my actual scientific reason for doing it.
Oh, you have science. Okay.
So again, I think there's a theme in mine similar to yours. Is mine are ones that you can't really cheat. So I think if you are
lovely.
sat on the bench doing them, you can't really sort of... I don't know how to explain it for people just listening, like jump it up, I guess.
Difficult to use momentum.
Yeah, it's difficult to use momentum to get it up. Also, because you're on the incline, you get like a really good stretch and you do a full range of motion rather than sort of the half reps that a lot of bros do in the gym. So I think it's just a really good way of hitting the bicep. And my reason for needing this on the desert island...
Oh, you've got reasons why, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, is to wave down the passing boats. I need to be able to wave them down.
You've got to get in there.
Because if I'm kind of up there for a long time, my arm's going to get tired. So, and that's my reason for needing a bicep exercise. But any arguments against my...
Well, I think the same as the triceps in that I haven't picked any direct triceps or biceps exercises because I'm going to try and hit my biceps and triceps with my other compounded movements.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how we are, 5 exercises in and yet we haven't got any that match so far.
Yeah. I've gone more accessory work, whereas yours
You've
is
gone
more
rogue.
bang for your buck. Which is probably the better thing. Return on investment and everything.
Return of investment of the exercise is one of my criteria, yeah. So kind of a pseudo bicep exercise, really. Mine was going to be either chest-supported T-bar row or machine row. The actual one that I want to do is the row machine that was in the Body Shape gym in Athens.
Which, to anyone who hasn't been to the Body Shape gym
well,
in
yeah,
Athens,
but you know what it is.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Essentially, it's like a T-bar row. So it's going to be a wide grip row. So for your middle to upper back, and well, the one we've got in our gym is got a chest support, but the one in Athens, you sort of stood up on a platform, and it was kind of like doing a landmine row, except you were able to get a stretch because there was a deficit built up, which is why you were stood on the platform. So you could get into a really deep stretch there, and then you could then pull your back. For whatever reason, that exercise in that gym, while we were away for that 1 week last year, I've never had a stimulus like that before. I haven't had DOMs like that in my upper back before, and I really enjoyed it. I was tempted to put Pendlay row in just for the memes. But I didn't, so I went with a T-bar row. So in this exercise, I'm looking at my horizontal pulling because I've tried to break down all the exercises so I hit all the different movement patterns. So this is my horizontal pulling movement. And then because I'm obviously bending it or flexing at the elbow, I'm going to hit my biceps indirectly on that exercise as well. So that's why I don't need a bicep specialist movement.
Pretty.
Right, so we are 6 different exercises.
Yep.
So we're up to your number 7 now.
Yep. And mine is a dumbbell chest press.
Interesting.
I personally like doing this alternating, but I don't know that matters because it's still somewhat the same exercise. I don't know how specific we're getting with this. Only one exercise.
A bit like doing the alternating dumbbells. Someone might comment and say, well, why don't you just do both at the same time? It's just more time efficient. Well, firstly, you're on a desert island and there's fuck all else to do anyway, so why not?
I can talk to Wilson, my table.
But there's this weird phenomenon where, I can't remember what it's called, and I'm sure someone will tell me, that you can do bilateral exercise with both hands or legs, whatever, and you can go to fatigue, and then for whatever reason, you can just pick doing one by yourself, and somehow you're able to just keep going, even though you've already hit failure.
Yeah.
I suspect it's some kind of like neuromuscular thing. But yeah, that's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
So actually doing single arm alternating might not be a bad thing.
Yeah. And the reason that I went for dumbbell rather than barbell in this case is because I
can see this is going.
I'm on a desert island, and in case you've been eaten by a bear, if I do it dumbbell, I don't need a spotter because I can just drop the weights. Whereas with a dumbbell, I would, not be able to push myself to failure because I'd be scared of it dropping on my face. So for a safety reason, I went for dumbbell.
Safety is important.
Whereas if I was in the gym, I'd probably do barbell.
So right. If there's a bear on our desert island,
yeah,
we're training to kill a fucking bear. So we know what to do.
Okay, well, you might not have gotten eaten by a bear, but you might have eaten a poisonous berry or something. I don't know. You've died for whatever reason, and I don't have a spotter, so I need to do the dumbbells.
Let's assume everything's an option.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer dumbbells or barbells for chest press? If you've got a spotter, you can do whatever you want.
See, I prefer dumbbells, I think, because I can get a bigger stretch, because especially if I'm doing it like alternating, I feel like I can get lower because of I obviously don't have my chest in the way.
Yeah.
So I feel like I feel dumbbells a bit more, and I think that obviously the safety aspect of it is a big thing to me because
let's assume you've got a spotter, so.
But yeah, I think I can get a bigger stretch and a greater range of movement on the chest press. But
another option could be you use Smith machine.
Yeah. But again, I still think I would get the better range of motion with the dumbbells if we were taking the safety side out of it. And I think I feel more fatigued with the barbell, and I'm not really sure why.
Well, with a barbell, you're generally able to load it more because with dumbbells, half the exercise is getting them up in the first place to start. So barbell bench press is my number 5. So I'll cut to that one just now, and then we'll come back to what my 7 is after. That's going to be my horizontal pressing movement. Easy to progressively overload. It's really good for upper body hypertrophy. It's going to hit my triceps at the same time. It's going to hit my front delts at the same time. I did debate doing an incline. I was unsure whether I wanted to do incline or flat. I've gone for flat because we've got 10.
I think if I was doing barbell, I'd do incline though.
Oh, interesting. Greater range of movement.
Yeah.
It's more the shoulder at the same time. my other deciding factor was between dumbbells and barbells, and I went barbell because I don't feel like I'm particularly imbalanced left and right with my arms, so I don't see any reason why I needed to be unilateral or whatever. And the other reason was that actually getting them up in the first place is probably the hardest part. Whereas with the barbell, I can load it up, unrack it, do my thing, and rack it back up again. And I was assuming I had a spotter and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think I could just scale it better for overall strength. And as I spoke to a lot of my clients, is that actually just because your arms are the only thing that are moving in space, it doesn't mean it's not a whole body exercise as well. So obviously if you're getting feet jammed into the floor and trying to create that arch in your back as well.
Yeah.
So making sure that's heavily loaded, you're still going to be training your core despite your arms being the only things that actually move.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my 5. But interesting you went for dumbbells.
Yeah, like I said, I just feel like I can get a better stretch and would be more likely to go to failure on it.
Fair. So yeah, barbell bench press was my number 5, but my number 7 was the single arm kettlebell strict press. So part of my reasoning why I went flat barbell rather than incline is that because we got 10 options, I could put in horizontal pressing and vertical pressing, and that kind of hits both for me.
Yep.
And with a kettlebell, or I could have chosen dumbbell easily, but I like a kettlebell better because of the weight being on the back of my wrist rather than in the middle. Doing it single arm as well means that also there's a sneaky, I have to do a clean to get it up in the first place.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to do a clean to be able to do my strict pressing. There's the anti-rotation thing as well about, if it's in both hands, then your core is just sort of like chilling a little bit. Whereas one hand, you've got that core stuff that way. I like that the kettlebell pulls me back that way, so I get a bit more shoulder mobility with it. I can easily load it, and I think they look pretty cool too. Anti-rotation, overall pressing strength, so it's going to help with my bench press, being able to overhead press really nicely. Sneakily got a clean in there as well.
Yeah. So
efficiency of movement, a bit like if I was going to include a core exercise, I would have done a hanging leg raise to work my grip as well. But yeah, single arm, strict press.
So that's similar to my number 5.
Oh, go on.
But mine is kneeling single arm strict press.
Double knee or single?
Single knee.
Ah.
So the reason I like that is because I feel like it tests your stability a bit as well. And similar to you, it means that it's definitely strict because you can't cheat. And I just find that I like them a lot more. I don't get the sneaky clean in like you do, but I think...
You kind of still do. Would you go dumbbell or kettlebell?
I would probably do dumbbell, just because for me personally, I feel like the increments that dumbbells go up in makes it easier for me for shoulders, because the fact that most kettlebells go up in 4 kg, that's quite a big jump for me, whereas a 2 kg sort of jump is a little easier, especially for me on my shoulders. So I'm more likely to be able to progress, whereas with a kettlebell I'd probably stick to the lower weight just because I couldn't even get, like, moving from a 16 to a 20 for me is a huge jump, and I wouldn't be able to do it without a sort of push.
So I made mine strict press as well, because obviously you can push press it or even do a thruster, but that's much more help from the legs. I did think about making it push press anyway, because I was like, well, I'm still getting front and shoulder work from doing my barbell bench press, but I can just control the down for the strength, so I could maybe push press to get a heavier weight up. So, for example, you might be able to push press a 20, maybe even a 24, but your progression is going to be about you being able to control it on the way back down.
Yeah, but what would be the benefit of using a kettlebell as opposed to a
or a dumbbell.
So I would just use the dumbbell for
just
that
use
reason.
a barbell.
Yeah, so I would just use it for that reason, rather than a kettlebell personally.
Fair. 6.
So my 6th is for my glutes, and it is a hip thrust.
Oh.
So I went for hip thrust because I am quite quad dominant, which means that when I do things like, I think I'm quite like quad dominant / hamstring dominant. So when I do most...
I just got leg dominance.
Yeah. So when I do things like squats, I think no matter... I know you can obviously say range of movement and all that, but I still think my quads are the ones that are primarily doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
So I need something that sort of isolates my glutes, and the hip thrust for me is where I feel it the most and get the most hypertrophy. You obviously can load it really well. I'm assuming on my desert island I have a nice pad.
You're allowed a pad for the bar, yeah.
Not the ones that we have at the gym that, you know, might as well just be a tea towel. So, because I did think about doing sort of split stance, either lunges or squats or something like that. But for that, the limiting factor is how much I can hold. Whereas for the hip thrust, you can just load the bar as much as you want.
Yeah, so is this pretty much our first lower body exercise as well? So obviously prioritising lower body up the order, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But again, without being too much of a spoiler, I haven't picked any single leg exercises. I don't know whether I'm going to regret that or not.
Okay.
So I haven't put hip thrust in. But for hamstrings, glutes, arguably, but mostly hamstrings for me, my number 6 is the double-handed hardstyle kettlebell swing.
Okay.
So I've put kettlebell swings in. Maybe I should have made that single arm, or maybe single arm alternating. Either way, I've got kettlebell swings in there.
Mm-hmm.
As my hip hinge. For me, I get really sore doing swings. I get a good connection with my hamstrings. Really good for low impact conditioning. So I got a bit of sneaky cardio in there as well. Able to load it, just use bigger kettlebells. Arguably, maybe if I went single arm, that might even give me even more thing. I get a very nice stretch from my hamstrings, a little bit of my glutes as well from doing it. But I was talking to Ben earlier about this. I gave him a little teaser saying this is what we're going to do. And he went, there's 2 exercises I definitely wouldn't do. One of them is on my list. And the other one would be a Bulgarian split squat.
Yeah.
And after he said that, I was like, should I have included those? And I think it's one of those where it really does get me in the butt.
Yeah.
I get real sore doing those. And I think it's because I get real sore doing them, it puts me off them. And nobody likes doing split squats.
No.
And I went, do you know what? If I've got 10 exercises, I want to pick ones that I like. However, I'm really annoyed that they're really good.
Yeah.
Have you got them in yours?
No, because again, I think the limiting factor is my grip, which is why I went for hip thrusts instead. And like you said, no one likes doing them. I don't know why I hate them so much. Like,
because they're sore. They make you hurt.
But other exercises make you hurt. Like if it's a novel stimulant. But I really hate it. Like every time I see them, I'm like, are all the benches full? Do I need to just come up with something else? I didn't include them because, like you said, if I'm going to be doing these for the rest of my life on a desert island, I want to enjoy them.
Yeah, fair. So reflection is I've got kettlebell swings. Get ups at 10, carry at 9, suitcase single arm, chest supported row or T-bar row at 8, strict press single arm kettlebell for 7, 200 swings for 6, and we've already discussed 5 for barbell bench press.
Mm-hmm.
You were
tricep push downs,
triceps because the bro muscles are important.
GHD sit ups,
GHD sit ups, bicep curls.
bicep curls.
What was your 7?
7 was the alternating dumbbell chest press.
Dumbbell chest press.
And then hip thrust, and then kneeling overhead press. Strict
Nice.
press.
So, pretty good range so far.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pretty much into top 4 now.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting that there's no cardio so far. Is that my guess for number 4 is yours is a cardio one?
No, I've got one more and then my cardio
One more than cardio. Interesting, because mine's at number 3 as well.
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is a hamstringy one, and it's Nordic curls.
Of course, it's Nordic curls.
Just my reason for doing this on a desert island is to flex to other islanders. Because I do think it's a bit of a flex. But I just really enjoy them. I appreciate that this one is probably the most questionable one from other people, is that they don't like doing them. But I think that if you can do them, it hits your hamstrings so much. And if you're talking about exercises that make you feel sore, that is definitely one.
So for anyone that doesn't know, a Nordic hamstring curl, basically, imagine you're going to kneel down on your knees and then kneel up tall, and someone's holding your ankles down. You could load up a heavy barbell and then put your ankles underneath that, or if you've got the access to a machine or a contraption that holds your ankles down for you. And then what you're going to do is, while kneeling up nice and tall, you're going to lower yourself basically face down to the floor or chest to the floor, and then try and lift yourself back up using just your hamstrings. Now, whenever I've shown these to anyone for the first time,
it looks easier than it is.
They sort of kneel up tall and they lean forwards maybe just a couple of centimetres and then go, oh, my hamstrings straight away.
And then just fall to the floor.
And then just face plant. And then you go, right, try and lift yourself back up again. And they're like, my hamstrings feel like they're about to rip out the back of my legs.
Yeah.
They're insanely difficult. An elite exercise. Anyone that can do them, even just do them body weight, I have massive respect for. Krystal is an absolute freak and can do them for reps. Whereas I can nicely control myself on the way down, but not quite pull myself all the way back up without sort of hinging at the hips first and making myself less long and cheating. So I'm working on them, but you are an absolute freak. But yeah, in terms of, do they give you a good stimulus? Absolutely yes. Good for hypertrophy? Absolutely yes. Can you progressively overload them? Yeah, you can just start holding some weight.
And do more reps, because like you said, even if you can do one, that's pretty insane.
That's insane. Are you going to get stronger than them? Yes. Pretty much they tick every box for your hamstrings. I haven't got them on my list because, again, for me it's quite an isolated exercise. It's just going to hit your hamstrings.
I think there's a bit of like core as well. Because
core strength as well, yeah. But
stability as you're going down and up.
Do you know what? All exercises are core exercises if you do them bad enough.
No, that's some back exercise.
All right, calm down. But yeah, so I went for something a bit obviously more functional.
Mm-hmm.
That is more of a compound exercise rather than just isolated. But again, knowing that you want to do triceps, biceps,
yeah,
and just flex for the island.
Yeah.
Interesting. My number 4 was pull-ups. And I wanted to be really particular with whether I wanted to do them pronated, supinated, or a neutral grip. And I decided in the end I wanted to go neutral grip because pronated, I get quite sore on my inner elbow. So for my body, I know that my elbow doesn't like doing those. If I do them supinated, that's palms towards my face, I find that I just end up using my biceps too much and I don't really get too much of a back stimulus. Whereas if I go neutral grip, so my palms are facing each other, I'm still able to then pull, let my back do the work, and my biceps can help out later. So for me, that worked nicely. That's going to be my vertical pulling movement. They look really cool. Then you can progressively overdo them because you can just add weight by a weighted belt or adding coconuts into your backpack. And actually doing more is probably going to be quite realistic. I feel that saying you could progressively overload them to be able to do a muscle up is cheating. I'm going to say that's a different exercise. But if I did have muscle ups in my list, I think that would be like it's a good accessory to get stronger at that. And yeah, I just wanted a different pulling stimulus, which still hit my arms indirectly to go along with my T-bar row. So yeah, that was my vertical pulling movement.
So I have pull-ups, but they're my second one.
Oh, pull-ups is number 2 for you.
Yeah. I didn't consider grip, but I think if I wanted to do the one that I like the most, it would be palms facing me. But that's just because I can do them a bit easier. But I do agree, I probably should do neutral grip just because I hit the back a bit more rather than biceps, which I've already got with my bad bitches.
And a bit nicer on your elbows.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that was then second for me because it's my grip one as well.
Yep, so you got your hanging stuff as well.
Which I haven't really got on the rest of my list, so that's my one which is going to work my grip as well.
Yeah.
And then all the other reasons that you said why they're good. And on an island, I need to be able to get into some trees.
Please don't avoid a tree.
So I need to pull up.
Curious then, why not a lat pull down or a narrow grip pull down using machines? Because you know what, you can just keep piling on the weight on that.
I don't really like the lat pull down again because I feel like I could cheat it. Most exaggerated by that one guy in the gym who essentially just rows it.
Leans back and lets body weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. But we're obviously going to use good technique with all our exercises. That's a given.
Yeah. I also feel like, for me, most machines are not designed for me, which I think is probably everyone somewhat feels that because they're obviously standard and I'm quite small and short, so the sort of pad that you have to stop it just pulling you up isn't ever really comfortable for me. I imagine people who are taller or different shape have similar issues with machines that they're not really designed for it. As for a pull-up, it's very easy. It's also minimal equipment. You can just do it wherever. I also like the idea of being able to improve your pull-ups by just doing a couple a day, like doing little exercise snacks. So you can just walk past something, do 2 pull-ups, and then keep coming back to it. Whereas for a lat pull down, I don't feel like you just walk past a lat pull down machine and do 2 lat pull downs.
So for anyone that's watching rather than listening, that's why we have our pull-up bar here, such that if we want to, we can just rock up to it, do a couple of pull-ups. I have to make sure I don't bang my head on the ceiling. So we're trying to use a strategy called greasing the groove. I think I've done a video on this sort of stuff, but certainly with like an every minute on the minute style, you can increase your pull-ups. Yeah, pretty good. I also find that they're kind of like I get quite sore on my abs doing pull-ups.
I was just about to say that I also feel like the last one especially, I'm just using my core essentially, and I don't really know.
Well, think about it. If your abs, so your abs, your rectus abdominis in particular, is sort of attaches to your bottom of your rib cage and then the top of your pelvis. If you were to just hang and just let it all go for it, so your legs in particular just dangle down, then the connection between your ribs and the top of your hips is just going to get longer.
Yeah.
So to keep your body in its neutral position as you'd like it to be, your abs are going to have to work to pull your top of your hips closer to your ribs. So the rectus abdominis, which is primary job is for spinal flexion, is actually, you could also think of it as keeping the gap between your ribs and your hips without you like ripping apart in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you're dangling down with your legs, and particularly if you're keeping them out in front of you, you're going to have to engage your core so that you don't just flop around in the wind, really.
Yeah.
So
on that bombshell, what's yours?
So what was your 4?
My 4 was Nordics.
Oh yes, of course. So your 4 is Nordics, mine's neutral grip pull up. So we now know that your 2 is pull ups.
Yes.
And 3 is your cardio.
Yeah.
Right. So my 3rd priority is cardio as well. So remember, we're going from 10th all the way to 1st. Interesting that both of us have picked a cardio thing as 3rd. I'm going to assume that you've got running.
Yeah.
What's mine?
Cycling.
Yeah, road cycling, yeah.
So I tried to cheat. So originally, when I did my list, I had cycling as well.
Right.
And then I had running as calves, as my calf exercise.
Yeah, fair.
But that would have been 11 exercises rather than 10.
I mean, I haven't got any calves in mine because ain't nobody got time for training calves if you've only got 10 exercises to pick from.
Yeah.
Interesting, my calves are sore from training yesterday. Rugby training on artificial grounds hurts my calves. See, for me, running firstly is boring. Anyone that watched our pilot episode knows that fuck running. Whereas for you, you enjoy it. It's your sort of mental headspace, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas having had ACL surgery, the impact on my knees, my joints in particular, I don't think is particularly friendly. For longevity, I don't think running works well for me. Whereas cycling, I can see myself cycling well into my later years. Obviously, minimal impact. I get to go faster.
Yeah.
I get to go and see more stuff. So on our fictitious island, I could cycle everywhere.
That's why I had it originally.
Assuming this island is infinitely big, I will get to see more of it.
Yeah.
Than you would.
But let's hope when the bear comes and gets us, you've got your bike.
I'll be able to get
otherwise
right.
I'm going to outrun you.
I'll be able to get out from the bear quicker. I guess kind of cheating with cycling as well is that I could change the tyres on it, so I could have a mountain bike.
Yeah.
I guess I would have to get myself a nice gravel bike.
Obviously.
And with 2 sets of tyres, so I can go super fast on the roads and still be able to hit the trails as well.
I hope you've got a lot of puncture kits.
Yeah, I'm just going to go tubeless and
yeah,
just have them all set up fully tubeless and go from there. For me, again, it's more of a mental thing as well. I just enjoy going on the bike, even in the horrendous weather. Whereas running in horrendous weather, I'm going slow as well. So it's just... and like I say, I think I'll be able to adhere to it long term. Whereas running, I'm I don't want to go for a run at the best of times. Appreciate that touch rugby does involve running.
Yeah.
But when I'm in a team sport and chasing a ball around, it's different in my mind. I'm distracted.
Yeah. It's not just the same thing.
Yeah. So interestingly, we've both gone for cardio for 3. So such that we don't get to your number 1 before mine. Your number 2 is pull-ups.
Yep.
Discussed that already. So my number 2 is the high bar barbell back squat.
Interesting.
So I'm assuming because you haven't included any squats, that squats might even be your number 1.
Yeah.
So I've particularly gone for the high bar version. I don't particularly vibe with low bar at all.
No, me either.
It just feels weird, but I know there are certain people that prefer doing low bar. Another reason for me is that I've tried to make sure I've hit every movement pattern. So I haven't got any squat pattern in there at all at the moment, which really hits my quads. So the high bar is going to hit my quads a lot more than a low bar would. Low bar being more of a glute and hamstring exercise, although they're going to hit all of them. In hindsight now, I'm wondering whether I should have done Bulgarian split squat.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have always changed the foot position as well, such that I could make it more hamstring dominant, more quad dominant. I did debate just binning off squats altogether and going leg extensions, but I was like, no, functional.
Yeah.
It's when I load it suitably heavy, it's going to train my core. So I find that particularly when I go really heavy, me leaning forwards and I'm having to sort of extend my back to get it up. Probably because I'm going too heavy, I'm not strong enough to do it. But obviously, if I'm doing it for the rest of my life, I'm going to get really, really good at that. And yeah, I just think that functional substitutes do exist, but I think I get a better stimulus from doing the barbell back squat than doing any other variation.
Yeah. So, as you guessed, squats are my number 1. If I am doing it for the right reasons, I'd probably do high bar in the same way as you said. If I was doing like the most fun, I don't even know what I'd pick. I love like hack squats and belt squats and all those sort of things.
So again, when we went to the Body Shape gym in Athens, they had a hack squat, they got a belt squat, and they were a pendulum squat.
Yeah.
And they were just really good. I think they felt really nice.
Yeah.
And if we had those in our gym, we would 100% use them.
Yeah.
But from like a functional point of view, like having a bar on your back and you having to be on your 2 feet, close chain to the ground, and hello sleepy boy, and being able to support your core and stuff. Obviously, if you load up a hack squat heavy enough, you're going to have to brace like heck to be able to push it back up again. But I just think the squat's just king of the lower body exercises, really.
Yeah, I think it hits so many different muscles as well while doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still counts as a back squat if you're kind of doing elevated like cyclist ones, or if that's a different movement.
Interesting. Yeah. So cyclist squat or a heel elevated squat. So we often will set up a slant board, and by doing that, it sort of artificially takes out your ankles from the movement, such that you can get a greater knee bend. More knee bend means more quad activation. So that's quite good.
Yeah, so if that counts as a separate one, I would have mine as elevated.
Yeah, I'm going to say
more quad targeted.
I'm going to say that we need to be that specific, that you need to choose. Are you going to do flat foot or just the heel in your shoe, or an elevated one? If you want to do an elevated one, then that works.
Yeah, so I think I would do cyclist because I get full range of motion.
Yeah. And you've got a lot of hamstring stuff, so flipping over to do your quads.
To have my quads.
Yeah, nice.
It's very quad dominant.
Yeah, see, I've got more hamstring stuff than quad stuff, but I find that cycling works my quads quite well. Yeah. So if I wanted to work my quads even more, then I could go on some hard climbs or something. I find we did that. Yeah, looking through the rest of my list, I don't think my quads really get hit too much by the other stuff. But yeah, I did debate whether to do a double kettlebell front rack or just a front squat instead.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about those?
I like the front squat. I don't know how much I can continue to progress it, just because my limiting factor is obviously holding the bar up in the front, because I'm kind of at the point where I think I'm at about 70 kilos for a couple of reps, and I don't know how much I would be able to hold much more.
So originally front squat was my choice, and I decided, because I give myself some criteria to justify whether I had them or not. I wanted progressive overload to be there, I wanted longevity to be important, I wanted hitting the target muscle really hard, and for strength and hypertrophy. Now, a front squat, I think, as much as it can arguably be a legs exercise, I would argue it's more of a core exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I can do way more weight on my back than I can on a front squat, purely because I'm limited by the rack position. Whereas on the back, obviously you've got the problem of axial loading on that, so that's putting a bar on and the weight being taken through your spine. Whereas on the front, it's still kind of axial loading, but you can dump it a lot easier. Flexibility in wrists and elbows and lats tends to be a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah. My kind of collarbone.
Yeah, it's not very comfy on the front of your shoulders. And given you're doing all the pressing, they're going to be juicy.
Got some carpets there.
Wouldn't be too bad. But because I can lift more weight on back squat, and it's more of a strength exercise for me, that's why I went for high bar back squat. I didn't want to be limited by my rack position. I didn't go for kettlebells because I didn't think I was going to be able to progressively overload it as well.
Yeah.
So it's similar to barbell bench press rather than dumbbell bench press. Actually getting it into starting position in the first place was going to be harder than the exercise itself. So as much as I am reasonably good these days at doing a double kettlebell clean, I don't think I'm going to be in a position where I can load that up enough to be able to then challenge my quads without having to put a different exercise in between. So perhaps maybe what I could have done is taken out something else lower down, maybe my Turkish get up at number 10, and put in, I don't know, leg extensions for argument's sake, and then had front squat. Maybe if we did this again in a couple of months' time, I would change my list entirely and I would include it. But right now, I went, no, back squat.
Yeah.
So we know that this is your number one.
What's your number one?
What's your guess? Turkish get up, suitcase carry, T-bar row, single arm kettlebell strict press, kettlebell swings, barbell bench press, neutral grip pull up, cycling, barbell back squat. What's number one?
Deadlift?
Deadlift.
Yeah.
Yeah, deadlift. So all of my others, I think I wanted to make sure I had horizontal push, horizontal pull, vertical push, vertical pull, squat, hinge pattern, core carries. For me, deadlift is a whole body strength exercise. It's the exercise I'm going to be able to load with the most weight. So there needs to be a bit of an ego thing in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You've got your biceps, triceps, I've got deadlift. It's very much a whole body exercise.
Yeah.
There is risk in the exercise. A couple of clients have managed to do themselves a disservice, do themselves a mischief by injuring their low back. So we have got...
Or when not with you, just so...
Not in my supervision.
Yeah.
Because their ego's got the better of them, but there we go. Grip strength, trunk strength.
Back strength.
Back strength, yeah. So for longevity, looking at being just strong overall, I think is really cool. I mean, if someone wants to ask you, are you strong? I would say the main 3 lifts are going to be deadlift, squats, and bench press.
Yep.
So I wanted to make sure that they're in there. Yeah, look, I think it's a real metric of overall strength, being able to deadlift with good technique and lifting more and more weight. I went for conventional rather than sumo.
That was going to be my next question.
Because sumo's cheating.
I would go for sumo.
Yeah. You just don't have to lift the bar so far. You just spread yourself wide so you get lower down to the ground, and then you just have to go.
I've only got little legs as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I want conventional rather than sumo, and yeah, it's my number 1. I'm allowed one from my ego.
Yeah, I thought about including deadlift, but I think if you had asked me a year ago, it definitely would have been on my list. But I've kind of grown out of love of it because I hurt my back a little bit from doing bad technique, and then I just haven't got back into it.
Yeah,
which I think I should be doing, but I just kind of haven't been practicing it.
So there's no other exercise for me that, because you talked about core early on, and I'm going, yeah, remember core is rectus abdominis, spinal erectors and all that sort of stuff. So for my spinal erectors, they're essentially, if you think about your abs, just go opposite side on your low back, the ones either side your spine. There's no other exercise really that hits it that directly. I think I've got quite a lot of oblique stuff with my single arm carries and presses. Pelvic floor's going to be doing all the bracing. Diaphragm's going to be working hard with cardio and just bracing as well. So I wanted something that sort of rounded off my core training as well.
Nice.
I suppose kettlebell swings maybe do it, but I think with the kettlebell swing, you're not going to be able to load it with 200 kilos.
Yeah. You can definitely load the deadlift more than any other exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was really fun.
So interesting lists.
So I know that a couple of my clients, I've already sort of teased that this was our idea for this week's podcast, and I've asked you to have a think about what your 10 exercises are. I'm genuinely curious, so I'm going to be asking all the people I work with. Obviously, I can't ask anybody else, whoever the random people are that have somehow stumbled across this by complete coincidence. But drop me your 10 exercises. It's one that you can easily debate, but ultimately, no one can take away your decisions from you. You can't be wrong with this, and anyone that says that either anybody is wrong is just a fucking idiot. So don't tell other people they're wrong. It's their choice.
Yeah.
You might disagree with their list, and that's fine. You have your reasons for yours. They have their reasons for theirs. So, but I do have one final question.
Okay.
And I wanted to do it at the start, but I wanted to get straight into it as well.
Okay.
One of my clients said they've got some really good questions to ask, just as like little icebreakers and stuff. I think I know the answer to it for you.
Okay.
But it's just a bit of fun. You don't need to be worried.
Okay.
So, we are going to the supermarket together.
Okay.
And I lose you.
Okay.
Okay. So you're lost. I've lost you in the supermarket.
Yeah.
You're gonna go around and do your business as you are, but you're going to stay in one spot waiting for me to come and find you.
Okay.
What spot are you going to be in the supermarket for me to have to come and find you at?
The reduced section.
Yes, I knew it would be. I knew you'd be in the reduced.
My first thought was the reduced fruit, but then I was like, no, the more likely one is the reduced section.
I knew it was going to be reduced. I knew it's going to be reduced.
Yeah, I'd probably either be in the reduced fruit and veg section or just the reduced section in general.
in the chilled,
Yeah.
just wherever all the bargains are.
Yeah.
It was either going to be that or maybe in the coffee aisle.
I don't spend that long there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in out.
Where would I be then? Where do you think I'm going to be in the
The
supermarket?
cake aisle.
The cakes, yeah.
We might see each other in the reduced section because you'll be looking for reduced cakes.
Nah. Go for the real ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, very good. Also, let us know where you think that you would be in the supermarket, because that's equally as fun.
It's a good question, actually.
I've got another one for next week. Don't panic.
Okay.
Right. That's going to be it today. We've been rabbiting on far too long. How long have we been going? Oh, bloody hell. Hour and 5 minutes. Hour and 6 almost, actually. So if you do happen to have got all the way to the end, then you've done better than Riley has. Bless him. And see you next time. Love you, bye.
Bye.